Peace. What's going on, everybody? Give everybody a chance. Scroll on in. Got an important topic to cover today. What's going on with it, bro? How you living over there? What's up with the TZ Frank, man? How you living? I'm good, man. I'm maintaining over this way, man. Just executing my plans, fulfilling my mission and all that. What's going on with it, Montel? Hopefully all y'all maintaining, staying healthy out here. Building behind the scenes is the best way to build, man. What you striving to build, though? Oh, yeah, the hit workout? Yes, sir. Got me one in earlier. That's the best way to get it in. Straight to the money. 30 minutes top. Feel like you done been in the gym. I feel like you done been working out for about 2 hours. It's the best way to do it, especially when you want to get them quick, fast results. Yeah, growing food, that's one of my next missions. But yeah, everybody need to be on that. Cucumbers for lunch. All right, Montel, there you go. You listening. You listening and you implementing. That's the best way to do it. But yeah, I got a heavy topic for today, man. I've been seeing a lot of stuff online, people talking about vaccines and how vaccines are the way and how modern medicine is more beneficial than taking the holistic, natural way. Like, it's legit people out here that believe vaccines have saved more lives than like eating properly and herbs out here. And that was, I just couldn't take that. It's a lot of people out here that are pro-vaccine, pro-vaccination. And I'm adamantly against vaccines. And I just want to kind of explain why. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to link up with you about that trading, bro. Yeah, mantras are way more effective than the vaccines. Hence the title of this video. That's pretty much all the placebo. It's not all the placebo is, but it's showing you the mental aspect of healing and just the power of the body in regards to it being able to heal itself. What people don't understand is a vaccine won't even or can't even work unless the body really gives it permission to work. So it's all the body at the end of the day. It's all the mind and the body at the end of the day. And people don't understand that simple science. The only way that healing will take place is if the body gives it permission to do it in the first place. There's plenty of people that can receive vaccines and all type of treatments, and then they still didn't make it. When on the flip side, you can even argue that the people that can receive the vaccines or the therapies, the chemotherapies and things of that nature to treat their illness, their ailment, or whatever the case may be, you can argue that that was the placebo effect, that it really wasn't even a vaccine. It was the patient's trust or belief in that vaccine, that drug, or that treatment that caused for them to reverse the condition in the first place. So we tend to give credit to the vaccine or the medication when really it's actually a placebo effect. It's your belief in that drug or that treatment that can cause you to heal yourself or reverse the condition. Like, we underestimate the power of ourselves. We underestimate the power of the mind, the power of the body. We do it too often. The only reason a lot of these drugs work in the first place is because the body has receptors for them. So we have receptors for these drugs internally. So that's the only reason why some of them appear to work in the first place. Some of these drugs that they manufacturing, like we possess some of those same drugs internally. All you have to do is activate them, and you can reverse anything. Holistic remedies should be more trustworthy for everybody. But of course, we know why that's not the case. Yeah, vaccine is not a cure at all. Yeah, I can understand that soil argument as well. But holistic remedies are a lot more trustworthy for a lot of different reasons. Because we can even break it down to a side effect level. All these drugs, man, from the vaccines, man, to the medications, to that blood pressure pills that we take, to the chemotherapy, all of them have a multitude of negative side effects. What are the negative side effects that come with eating healthy? What are the negative side effects that comes with meditation? What are the negative side effects that comes with affirmations? What are the negative side effects that comes with drinking water? What are the negative side effects that come with getting a proper amount of rest? I don't know of any. But we can go down the list in regards to the negative side effects of these medications out here, from nausea, man, to weight gain, to decrease in appetite, increase in appetite, to all of that, man. It messes with your hormones when you start taking these medications. Oh yeah, the crazy thing is, it seems like they rushing the vaccine, but we already know how this goes. They already have the vaccine. They already have it. They already have it. We already know what's really going on out here. They already have the vaccine. They just waiting for the perfect time to put it on us. They want to keep creating this mass panic, but they already got a vaccine. They already got it. We gotta understand what we dealing with out here. They already got that vaccine. They already know when they want to release it. They just want to keep creating this panic, this mass hysteria. That's all they want to keep doing. They want to instill fear, man, because they know it's easier for us to submit when we dealing with high levels of fear. So they know how powerful fear is. So they want to just keep spiking those numbers up, keep spiking them up, because that's instilling all types of fear, to the point where we dependent upon them to come up with this vaccine so we can decrease those numbers. And that's exactly what it is. You get that vaccine, you might get like 5 or 6 negative side effects. So it's definitely a trade-off. Yeah, they not. And another reason why they're not worried about the vaccine, because like I said, they already got it. They've been had the vaccine for the COVID-19. They've been had it. They worried, like you said, they worried about other stuff. They planned 5 to 10 years down the road. So they already knew that this was going to happen 5 or 10 years ago. They knew that this exact pandemic was going to happen 5 to 10 years ago. I mean, if you just study Bill Gates been talking about population control and viruses for a minute. So this is something that they knew was coming. They knew this. Because when you do the knowledge to it, when you just kind of observe what's really going on, like the people that they say are more at risk in regards to not making it if they encounter the COVID-19 or whatever, is people that you want to keep them safe in regards to anything like the flu, pneumonia, anything of those nature, like people suffering from diabetes, people with cancer, people with those underlying conditions. Like, you don't want them to get the flu. You don't want them to get pneumonia. You don't want them to get anything, because it's liable to take them out. Yeah, that's what yeah, that COVID test does look like that. Yeah, so back to my point about that, like they was like the people that are more at risk or the people with the underlying conditions. It's like, what are we doing to treat those underlying conditions? What are we doing to minimize or decrease the number of diabetes cases? Like, what are we doing for that? What are we doing to decrease the cancer statistics, the cancer numbers out here? What are we doing to decrease the amount of people suffering from high blood pressure? Like, what are we doing to treat those causes or those illnesses or those diseases? Like, what are we doing for that? Like, heart disease is still the number one killer of Americans by a long shot. What are we doing to treat that? Like, that's what I want to know. What are we doing to treat that? I mean, we already know people that's on this thread, we already know how to treat those conditions, but it's like that's the stuff that we really need to be talking about. Instead, we telling people that have these underlying conditions that they need to be more careful. They need to wear the mask and all that type of stuff. They need to practice social distancing. Well, we could prevent a lot of heart disease, a lot of cancer cases, and a lot of diabetes cases by practicing healthy eating, healthy thinking, healthy breathing. But that stuff, again, like I said, they don't want to talk about that. When you start talking about that and you making it public, then that's when they want to come and get you. They want to silence you. They want to assassinate you, kill you, murder you, whatever the case may be. Ship you overseas. They want to give you that hush money and all that good stuff. When if they would have taught the placebo effect, or if they would teach it, then a lot of things would change. If people really knew and understood the power that they possess in regards to reversing a condition or preventing a condition from arising in the first place. You have all that power within you. All you have to really do is just believe and know that you have that power. Even when they are testing a new drug, like they utilize the placebo effect or test in regards to test the efficiency of that drug. So if the placebo rate is higher, like if it improves people at a higher percentage than the actual drug, then they discard that drug. So they utilize the placebo effect because they know how powerful it is in regards to when they are creating and testing out a new drug. So they know about this placebo effect. They know how powerful it is. Like I got plenty of books that talk about the power of the placebo effect. Man, I got one book that mentioned a test that was did. It was people suffering from like chest pain, having heart issues and things of that nature. But I think the bulk of the issue was chest pain. So what they did was they had a group, they had two groups, but I'm gonna focus on the one group. They put this group to sleep. They didn't perform any surgery on this particular group. They put them to sleep, woke them up, and told them that surgery was a success, even though they did not perform any surgery. They told this group of people that the surgery was a success. I think about like 80 to 90% of the people in that test study or test group reported a relief in symptoms simply because the doctor or the surgeon told them that surgery was a success. They didn't actually perform it. They were just informed or told that it was a success. That simple method right there, man, that relieved a lot of symptoms for like 90% of the people in that test group. That's how powerful the placebo effect is. Like that's how powerful it is, man. You having chest pains, all they did was put you to sleep. So basically they just put you asleep and told you that surgery was a success and they have cured you. That's placebo effect. That's how it works. Now, whether or not they paid a bill, I don't know. And I got another similar incident well, not similar, but I have something along the placebo lines in this other book that I'm reading, and it talked about I think it was done in like 1950s. And it was a drug that I think it was administered to pregnant women. And this actual drug, which is crazy, I guess one of the side effects of the drug was that it induced vomiting. So it made you vomit, or it was supposed to make you vomit when you took the drug. Okay, so you had a doctor in the 50s, he had a few patients. He misinformed the patients, and he told the patients that the drug will stop the vomiting or decrease your nausea. Mind you, it is written that this drug induces vomiting, so it makes you vomit. He misinformed them and told them that instead of making you vomit, it will decrease your nausea. So he gave this drug to a handful of women simply off the strength of him telling them or misinforming them that it will relieve those symptoms. They did. They reported a relief in the symptoms. So instead of them actually vomiting and having more nausea, all of that decreased simply because he misinformed them. So here you have a drug that's supposed to induce vomiting. They gave them the drug, told them that it doesn't induce the vomiting, it decreases that, told them that, misinformed them. They took the drug, and then those symptoms decreased. It alleviated those symptoms. Again, placebo effect at its finest. Placebo effect at its finest. Yeah, every other week is some new information about who actually suffers the hardest from like COVID-19. I heard all types of groups of people suffering from it more than most or more than other people. So it's a lot of misinformation, it's a lot of fabricating that's going on with this COVID-19. Yeah, the trust we have for the medical industry is crazy. It's crazy for the life of me. Like when they sticking this needle inside of you or whatever, telling you that this vaccine is, a flu vaccine, you don't know what it is that they are actually injecting in you. Like, how can you trust that? But they got us, man. It's psychological slavery, psychological warfare, man. They got our minds exactly where they want them and exactly where they need them. The crazy thing about it is we'll hoop and holler, protest, yell at this system, and then we'll go right into the doctor's office and expect for them to cure and heal us. Same system that we protesting against, same system that we are accusing of killing us and killing our children, we'll go expect for that same system to go heal us. We trust that same system with our lives. Lindell, I'm kind of like 50-50 on that in regards to testing certain drugs on certain animals, then trying it with humans. I mean, just being kind of like on a vegan scale, I don't really like animals being used in that manner. Yeah, they have convinced a solid 85% of the population, if not more, that they know their bodies a lot more than you do. You should be the best knower of yourself. You should be the best knower of yourself, man. You should be confident in regards to your abilities to overcome anything. Yeah, that Tuskegee experiment, I got a whole book on that. That Tuskegee experiment was crazy. That's one of the reasons. Like I read that book like 10 plus years ago, man, that's another reason why I really don't trust them. That's a major reason why I really don't trust them, man. Then Medical Apartheid is another solid book, man, that just exposes a lot of discrimination, man, just intentional discrimination that goes on within the medical field. But that Tuskegee experiment, man, that was sick. That was sick to the point where I wouldn't be surprised, or I'm convinced that, for one, this virus was man-made, and secondly, they probably injecting this virus into folks. But they now, of course, they don't want to talk about that. Yeah, it's still going on big time. Big time, because we still the main ones that be trusting these doctors, man. But like I said, we'll go hoop and holler at this same system. I don't know why, for some reason, we feel like it's a separate system. So we're going to hoop and holler at the system that we feel like we're going to hoop and holler at the cops, the government, things of that nature, and say they mistreating us and all this good stuff. And then for some reason, we think the medical industry is separate from all this other stuff. Like, no, they all one and the same. They all controlled by the same powers. So you might want to be protesting that medical industry too. Just like we talking about, man, I got I got some stats, man. Like, this was some years ago. I don't know what the numbers are now, but I think it's called like iatrogenic deaths. That's basically a death that is caused by medical error. Last time I checked, that number was over 250,000 a year. So you got over 250,000 deaths a year are caused by medical errors. Matter of fact, I'm going to look up the number now. I'm going to see if I can get an accurate number now. Iatrogenic deaths. So as soon as you look it up, in 2000, it was 250 deaths per year caused by like iatrogenic causes. Listen, and I'm gonna read the first thing that comes up when you Google it. The article states that 250,000 deaths per year are due to iatrogenic causes, unfavorable responses to medical or surgical treatments. 250,000 a year are dying because of unfavorable responses to medical or surgical treatments. But who are you here talking about that? 250,000. And I'm pretty sure that number is probably the same, if not a little bit higher now. That is 250,000 people who are dying because of medical errors, and we not talking about that. We trust in that same system that kills 250,000 a year because of errors. We trust in that same system to treat, heal us. That's crazy. That same system kills 250,000 a year. Now, why is this not making the news? Why is this not brought up? We got all these COVID numbers, but we not going to discuss the amount of people that die because of medical errors a year. Why is that? Why is that number not more prominent? Why are they not displaying that number? We know why. What's going on, Sweet Tea? Yeah, I agree with you on the protest capitalism to start it off. But you got a lot of people that are pro-capitalist, a lot of black folks. So that's an interesting debate. Or it's always an agenda, and it's always deeper than the surface. So that's why I'm always looking beyond that surface, because it's always deeper than the surface. It's always deeper than what you see. It's always deeper than what you hear. So you got to dig deep to really uncover and unravel that truth. And the truth comes in layers. So when you discover one truth, it's another truth underneath that you got to dig up. And it gets deeper and deeper. So best believe by the time something hits the news and we start conversing about it and we paying attention to it, they behind the scenes cooking up 10 different other plans. So by the time it actually hit the news, it's late news to them, but it's new news to us. Like it's trending to us, but they already knew that this was gonna happen. Yeah, that's interesting. They had the pro-capitalists that are not big. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. I ought to get some of them on here so they can explain that. Yeah, that George Floyd situation was crazy. I mean, it still is crazy. Even the Breonna Taylor situation, crazy. It's crazy, but then you always got to ask yourself, what are they cooking up? So you got to be able to be versatile with your line of thinking. So you can focus on what they throwing at you, but then you got to also be able to dig a little bit deeper at the same time. So like, all right, I see what's going on. I can pay attention to that, but then I'm a multitask and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna dig deeper. I'm gonna say, okay, they threw this at us. What are they whipping up? Back when I was a TV watcher, all you had to do was watch C-SPAN, man. C-SPAN, that's when they used to be discussing a lot of their little moves. You would watch C-SPAN and man, they'd be passing all type of laws, bills that's going against our freedoms and things of that nature. And nobody would be talking about them. We'll be focused on whatever it is that they threw out there in regards to like the news, like the trending topics and all that. Meanwhile, they up in these boardroom meetings passing bills and laws that's restricting our freedoms. So they good for that. They good for that, man. They have distracted us from they've distracted us not only from the truth of like what's really going on out here, but the truth of ourselves as well. And it's only a small percentage of us that can defeat that can break through those distractions and realize the actual truth. That's why a lot of the responsibility falls on us. Oh, I've been saying we protesting the wrong thing for the longest. Yeah, we've been protesting the wrong things for the longest. Like very seldomly do we protest against the right things. Like we protesting the wrong things. It's like a waste of time for the most part. The stuff that we tend to protest against, waste of time. The brain health, the mental health is crucial. But you don't hear a lot of people talk about it. What's going on, MCJ Rocker? Appreciate it. Like to me, everything starts with self. So in regards to like the mental health or the brain health, like that's starting with yourself. Like that's making sure your health is intact before you go out here and try to save the world. So it always starts at home. It always starts with self. And a lot of us, we neglect that. We skip right over ourselves. For one, because we hate ourselves. And as Malcolm X would say, who taught you to hate yourself? So we got to go back to self, man. We got to practice that self-love. We got to get that knowledge of self. We got to know who we are. So that's like the foundation, man. You got to get back to knowing who you are, knowing who we are as a whole. Yeah, Dr. Almighty Vegan. Yeah, that's cool, man. I don't really care what you call me, honestly. As long as it ain't anything derogatory. Appreciate that, MG. I'm striving to put out the content. The channel, if the channel blows, it just blows. Yeah, we definitely get that check though. But like we gotta get back to it, man. We gotta activate that power that's laying dormant within us. And like I said with placebo, man, I mean, you could just be in regards to just healing the body, man, healing the mind, just being the embodiment of health. Like you got all of that within you. All you gotta do is believe in the power of yourself and knowing the power of yourself. Like this COVID and whatnot is out here, man. But the way that I walk around, the way that I conduct myself, like I'm not living in fear of anything that's COVID related, man. I do my affirmations. I protect myself via the way that I think, via the words that I speak, via the foods that I eat, via the water that I drink, via the rest that I get. Like I protect myself, man. I'm protected. Like I'm protecting myself from any type of virus out here, man. I speak life into myself on a daily basis. That's placebo. I'm not worried about any type of disease. I'm not worried about any ailment. I'm not worried about any virus. And I speak it every day. I think it every day. I'm not even concerned about it, man. Like I know I'm not going to get hit with it because I speak it. That's placebo. That's placebo at its finest. I'm actually a fan of people get mad when I say this, but I'm actually a fan of segregation. I feel like a lot of our power got destroyed when we integrated. I mean, that's people don't like to hear that. People may want to call me racist and all that, man. But I feel like when we were segregated, we had more of our own, man. Like even just looking at sports, man, we had like the Negro Baseball League and things of that nature. But we always aspired to be accepted by them when really we was cool doing our own thing. Just imagine if we segregated, man. Just imagine the amount of money they would lose. Like if all the athletes said, all right, we're going to have a Negro basketball league. We're going to have a black original man basketball league. We're going to have a black baseball league. We're going to have a black, all that, man. Just imagine if we segregated and separated from them. Especially with the knowledge that's out here. If we took it back and then we said, all right, we're going to have black schools, like with the information that's available to us now, like we'll be able to teach what's right and exact, and we wouldn't have to settle for the garbage quality textbooks that they was giving us back in the day. We got enough resources out here to teach these kids right now, so they can segregate us now, but we got the power. We got a lot of power in our hands. We don't have to accept the crumbs that they're giving us. And Mr. J, what various races we talking about? I have to get an understanding when people say various races. I mean, a lot of times they talking about ethnic groups. Like it's just, I got to see what you mean by that, because some people mean different things when they say various races. We really don't. The crazy thing is, we really don't need them at all. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, naturally the world was like segregated. Like before they came and invaded us and things of that nature, like that was segregation. We were doing our own thing. We was chilling. Then as the loving and accepting people that we are, like we took them under our wing. We taught them stuff and things of that nature, and they ended up betraying us. We ended up falling for the trick knowledge, as Elijah Muhammad calls it. And people look at segregation as something that's right. Like, nah, I just feel like us being separated would be a lot more beneficial, because when we became integrated, like I said, we diminished a lot of our powers. Because we striving to be equal to or on the same level as these folks. when really that should never be our objective. Like that should never be the objective in the first place. Like your ancestors did things that they can't even fathom doing. So why are you striving to be equal to them? Like again, your ancestors did things that they still to this day they credit in aliens for some of the stuff that our ancestors did. They saying aliens, extraterrestrial life must have did this. Couldn't no human have done this? Like that's the type of stuff our ancestors were responsible for. So that's the type of power that we dealing with, and they know that. So that's why every time a powerful figure comes up that tries to unite people, they got to shut it down. Mr. J, you hashtag Native Mexican. You cool with me? You cool with me? You will fall under the original people category. You cool with me? Yeah, most of them do segregate from other whites, and that's kind of that's kind of funny too. I mean, I got a few books that mention that. Yeah, I got a few books that talk about that, like even like the Irish and things of that nature. And where you at, where you at, Mr. J? Like, are you in Mexico? Like, where are you located now? Yeah, that black and brown unification is what we need. That's what we need. They got a lot of groups of us at odds, and we don't need to be at odds with one another. Yeah, they yeah, they definitely tried to include y'all into the mix. And again, that's creating that divide and that separation where it doesn't need to. But like I said, even when you study like Elijah Muhammad, man, he lets you know like the Native Mexican is included in that original people category. Black, brown, yellow, red seeds, man. All those are original seeds. And a lot of us don't know that, man. It's a lot of groups of us, man, that we dislike one another, and we all come from that original source, that original seed. Okay, you in Texas. Okay, what part of Texas? Yeah, I got some people out there in Texas, depending on what part you in. But yeah, I done chopped it up with a lot of Mexicans, man. I worked with a few back in the day, man. We had some very good conversations. So I chopped it up with a few of them. But it definitely was. They definitely tried to drive a wedge. And they still do to this day. They try to drive a wedge between a lot of us. Oh yeah, Elijah Muhammad, that's my man. Noble Drew Ali. Shout out to the Moors, Hebrew Israelites. Yep, all that. I used to have a lot of beef with Hebrew Israelites. I wasn't a fan of them, but now, man, I done found some respectable ones. So now it's all love, man. Like I said, I can kind of mix and converse with all groups now. Used to didn't be that way. Okay, yeah, I pretty much figured it was San Antonio, somewhere along those lines. Most definitely, man. I'm gonna have to come down there. We're gonna have to link up, man. I'm gonna have to go to San Antonio. We're gonna have to do something. Bring the people together. Like that's one thing I plan on doing, man, taking this movement on the road too. So wherever y'all located, What's going on, Ronnie Ron? And the power of the placebo is simple. It's simple. All you have to do, like it's really just this simple. All you have to do is first believe in the body's natural healing powers. So you just have to believe that the body is able to heal itself from anything. That's all the placebo effect is. It's belief. It's belief in your body to heal itself. Because like I broke down the test earlier that they did, like all they did was the people had chest pain, put them to sleep. They told them that surgery was a success. Meanwhile, they didn't perform any surgeries. So just off the strength of them believing that the surgery was performed, that was enough for them to heal themselves. So all the placebo effect is your belief in something to heal oneself. So if you believe in the body's ability to heal itself, that is exactly what will occur, because your body has everything within it already to provide that healing response. All these drugs that they administer, your body has a natural reservoir of them. Believe in it. So basically, the placebo effect is a belief in oneself to heal oneself. So I'm gonna go, like, let's just say you practicing eating healthy. All you got to do is sit there and believe in the path that you are traveling in regards to this healthy journey that you are on. All you got to do is believe in that healthy journey in regards to it protecting you. So like, it's really simple, man. All you got to do is just wake up every day and speak life into yourself. Speak health into yourself, and you will be protected off the strength of your words and your thoughts. Peace, Lord. What's going on? Yeah, every cell in the body. We have a lot of cells in the body, and they all communicate with one another. That's why you got to watch what you tell yourself. That's why you gotta be very mindful of the messages that you send to the cells that are within you and to the subconscious mind, because it's not able to discern like truth from fiction. It doesn't discriminate. Whatever you tell it is gonna act on that. So that's crucial. And I think the 16.9 project is cool. Yeah, that oat milk. Definitely get on that oat milk. Yeah, man, listen, meditation, and it really is visualization. Like, I mean, that's a form of meditation, but just visualization, man. You could connect with any and everybody, man. And it's all mental. All right, peace, Lord. Definitely check me out later. Man, when you recognize the power within yourself and then your people, of course you deserve the best. But now we feel like we deserve the bare minimum. We've downgraded from thinking we deserve the best to being okay with the bare minimum. Like, that's where we at now. Like, that's where we at with it now, man. We satisfied, we content with the bare minimum. Like, sometimes you have to remind people, like, man, do you know who your ancestors were? You know some of the things that they accomplished. Like, they wouldn't be pleased with you settling for this. NCJ Rocker, some good foods for weight gain. On the vegan tip, I always go to my seeds, man. Get you hemp seeds, pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, chia seeds. You can go with some potatoes, sweet potatoes, white potatoes. The white potatoes gonna serve a purpose for you because you're trying to gain. Of course, you want to throw spinach in there. You want to throw kidney beans into the mix. Split peas, lentils, all of those are good. If you can fool with peanut butter can be cool, but I would probably prefer or suggest almond butter. So all of those are good for like weight gain if you're trying to do it healthy. Then you just want to get your meals in, get your calories in. Yeah, nobody teaches the high sciences at all. It's like we need to go back to the ancient Egyptian mystery schools. Like we need to go back to that era when all the Greek philosophers was traveling to Egypt to get their information. Then going back teaching it to their people. See, this is what we was doing. We were educating them, then sending them back to their people, like teach them this. Oh yeah, the AI, the automation, the robots, all that is like it's pretty much already here. It's just a matter of it becoming bigger or it increasing. So that's what I was pretty much telling somebody, man. They was talking about kind of discouraging people to pursue business endeavors during this pandemic. And basically, if you got a job, to hold on to the job, and it wouldn't be wise to quit your job, things of that nature. You know, the logical responses that they give people. But the thing that I had to bring to his attention was he was talking about how a lot of small businesses are suffering due to this pandemic. I'm like, man, these large corporations are too. And a lot of them are closing their doors and they are furloughing, laying off, firing, getting rid of a lot of people. So no, your job is not safe even if you keep it. So if you got an endeavor that you can pursue that's your own, now is the best time to do it. Now is the best time to pursue it because nothing is guaranteed at this particular point in time in life. Even if you have a job, it's only a matter of time before this pandemic forces your job to kind of reconsider and reevaluate everything. So this is the best time to just go ahead and take that jump and just pursue your own endeavor, man, because the world is changing. So I just got ahead of the curve, man. I was in banking. I already know how banking is about to play out. In about another, I'll say within 2 to 5 years, like you're going to have cashless branches. So a lot of people that's in the banking industry right now are about to lose jobs. It's already happening with some banks like Bank of America and things of that nature. So it's already happening. But in about 2 to 5 years, man, 5 people being in a branch, that's about to be unheard of. So I was like, man, to prevent that heartbreak later down the line when I done got well invested in this job, I'm going to just leave now and pursue my own thing. So I recommend a lot of people do that, man. These companies don't care anything about you. When it's time to protect their interests in their pockets, like they will let you go. And we clinging on to these jobs thinking that it's safe, thinking that it's guaranteed, when at the end of the day, it's not. What should be guaranteed and safe is you betting on yourself and your own abilities. Yep, giving the corporations a lot of welfare and they still letting people go because it's corporate greed. They want to keep most of that for themselves. They don't want to pay their people. They want to let them go and keep that money that they get. What's going on, Mike B? What's going on, bro? Yeah, the economy is going downhill big time. Been trending that way for a minute. So it's like that was part of my placebo effect, man. Part of my placebo effect was like knowing that I'm greater than the position that I was in and then finally acting on that. Yep, groceries. That's another industry that's about to suffer. The grocery stores, man. I don't know if they got them where you at, but over here they got certain grocery stores that they have drones that fly around in place of like actual workers. Now they got drones that fly around. So that's gonna be the new wave of grocery shopping. You're gonna have drones instead of like actual workers, and they're gonna get rid of them cashiers. All of that stuff that's dealing with like cashiers and bank tellers and stuff like that. Because the bank where I was just at, they didn't even have a bank teller position. So all of that, cashiers and tellers and all that, those positions are about to be obsolete. Like those are about to be eliminated. Yeah, I can agree. I'm actually, the thing about it is, I mean, when you really think about it, automation, robots, I mean, that's rule of business. Work smarter, not harder. So in a sense, it makes sense to create these robots and automation. Like it makes sense because it's going to make a lot of things, you're going to be able to do a lot of things faster and probably of of good quality as well. But at the end of the day, it's like a lot of people are about to suffer in regards to the jobs that are about to be lost. But I can tell you just from being in business for myself, like the thing, you always striving to automate things. You always striving to make things easier on yourself. So that's all that they are doing. But like it's about to impact a lot of people. Yeah, MCJ Rocker. Like I was actually not even gonna lie, like because I got a marketing degree, but I was actually gonna look into the IT field, man. It's just like a little side hustle type deal. Because I'm pretty decent with like computers and things of that nature. Like I was actually considering something like that. Somebody gonna have to control the robots. somebody gonna have to diagnose them and all that good stuff, man. Somebody gonna have to troubleshoot them and all that. Definitely playing. It's playing like a few movies that have come out in the past. So we've seen this before. It's a lot of movies that demonstrate what's about to go down. It's gonna go down to what I was saying years ago. What's happening and what they were striving to do, what I was talking about like 10 plus years ago, they were striving to wipe out the middle class. You either gonna be rich or you poor. That's what this automation is gonna do. There will be no middle ground. You either gonna be rich, you're gonna be part of the wealthy class, or you're gonna be poor. There will be no middle ground. There will be no in between. There will be no middle class. You either gonna be rich or you're gonna be poor. That's what's about to happen. Yeah, MCJ Rocker, that's crazy because I already looked into that. I already saw some certifications that I was looking into. And that's it. The ones you just posted are the exact ones that I saw. Like it's just a matter of me doing them. Like I was legit looking at them. And what if AI is a placebo of negative entities? That'd be interesting. That mean we would be doomed if that would be the case. Yeah, we should have been like coding and just being hackers and stuff like that. That should have been we should be boy, we should have been mastering that. Yeah, so if there's no jobs, who's gonna spend the money? What they gonna do? What I feel like they gonna put everybody on like a payment plan, like a universal income type deal. So they gonna get like when you part of that poor class, they gonna give you X amount of dollars a month, and they gonna factor all this in. Like they gonna know exactly how much you need in order for the economy to still be stimulated and things of that nature. So I feel like they're gonna put everybody on this universal income, all the people that is gonna be in this poor class. Like I said, you're gonna eliminate that middle class, you're gonna have this poor class. Poor class ain't gonna have jobs, so they're gonna rely on the government in order for them to get their funding, in order for them to be able to maintain a certain standard of living. And that's how, and it really ain't even gonna be money because they striving to wipe out like as far as like cash, that's getting wiped out. And that's where it's gonna start. They're gonna get rid of cash. Everything gonna be cashless. And it's almost like I don't like to get biblical because that's not my I'm not into that, but it's like the mark of the beast type symptom. Like everything's gonna be operated by like a chip or things of that nature. Like that's an actual fact. And it's gonna start, like I said, with this cash, everything going cashless. Yeah, definitely. Nothing new under the sun. That's my model. Oh yeah, most definitely, Mike B. We can attract whatever it is that won't. That's why we got to come together collectively and manifest what it is we need to manifest. But like I already see the trend, man. I already see where everything is headed. I see where it's going. That's why I did. That's why I made the move that I'm making, or I made, because I see where everything is headed. And it's better for me to just like jump ahead of that curve, man, and be surprised by when it actually happens, man. You didn't invest it 5 to 10 years in this certain industry, and they telling you, well, we gonna downsize because we gonna outsource everything to these robots out here. I mean, I was even watching on YouTube how they automating truck driving. I mean, that's one of the industries where I'm like, man, just leave it alone. They gonna automate truck driving, man. We gonna have we gonna have trucks driving themselves out here. Oh, they might be. They already turned us into robots. We already that. They already got us programmed. They got us right where they want us. They already got us. Yeah, the Fitbit information. Yep. It's a lot, man. It's a lot of, you mentioned calories, man. It's a lot of misinformation about that. Boy, they got us. They got us, man. So much misinformation out here, man. It is crazy. And that's kind of like the blessing and the curse of just like the internet, man. Just having these smartphones and things of that nature, man. It's so easy to get misled because people don't value research anymore, man. Like you back in the day, man, you researching a topic 15, 20 years and you still haven't mastered it. Now people can look up something in a matter of like minutes and think they got it mastered and figured out because they read 1 or 2 articles on it. Like that's not research. Like it's people that study particular subjects for years, man. Like I said, 20 plus years, and they still don't have everything figured out. So why you think you got something mastered after reading an article on it? And that's the world that we live in, man. People don't want to do the work anymore. People don't want to put in that work to research to really uncover the actual truth. And they know that. So that's why all this misinformation is out here, man, because they know people are not going to take the time to dissect what's really real. They're going to go with the first thing that looks credible. Oh, this looked like a credible source, so therefore it must be accurate. So I'm not going to dig any deeper than this first source. What's going on, Thunder Scorpion, man? I've been looking for you. But they got us, man. We already robots. They got us programmed exactly where they want us and need us. Yeah, bartering will be illegal. They got it's yeah, that's definitely gonna be illegal. Yeah, definitely biased information. It's definitely being pushed and believed and accepted by the masses at high levels. Like I said, me just being a trainer, man, all of the information that people bring to me, I have to do a lot of deprogramming, man. A lot of things that people think are correct in regards to like nutrition and exercise are like terrible. Man, I'd have been called crazy, the devil, a heathen, ignorant, stupid. I'd have been called all type of stuff. Yeah, I'd have been called all type of stuff for simply encouraging people to think outside of the box. Yeah, Mike B, that wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me at all, man. But again, when you dedicate yourself and you commit to attaining this knowledge, man, you got to understand that it's gonna be a lonely road, man, because not too many people gonna rock with you. Yeah, they got a lot going on in China, man. And they've been had a lot going on there. Yeah, it's no longer smart to be dumb. Yeah, the US trying to move like China, that wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But that's why I said, man, you gotta when you it's a few things that you gotta be willing to accept, man, when you commit to attaining certain pieces of information. For some, it can be depressing actually. Like a lot of people that come across this information that encourages you to think outside the box, a lot of us suffer from like depression and stuff like that. That's common amongst people who possess certain pieces of information. It's almost like sometimes you wish you wouldn't have come across the information. You wish you wouldn't have known what you know. Oh yeah, definitely. They can easily tax you when you cashless, most definitely. Yeah, oh yeah, manufacturing plants. That you about to be, yeah, that definitely is about to be controlled by the bots. Basically, all the jobs that, let's just say, you kind of like you knew school wasn't for you and you didn't want to go to the military, and like I'm gonna get this manufacturing job. Like a lot of those type of jobs, because even like truck driving, that's one of them jobs. Like, all right, I don't want to go to the military, I don't want to go to school, but then this is what I'm gonna do. Like those jobs are gonna be the first to go. Yeah, James Brown, I got a few videos on that. Yeah, you can check some of the videos on my page. I got a few videos on discipline for eating the right foods, and then even what foods to eat, and even when to eat those foods. So yeah, I got a few videos on that. So they about to wipe out a lot of like those jobs that people could just get to just, maintain a certain standard of living, take care of your family if you do it for 20, 30, 40 years. Those little jobs about to be wiped out. I appreciate that, Mike. I mean, I don't consider myself a chosen one, man. I'm just an eager person out here that like to share part of my journey. But I appreciate it. Oh yeah, COVID was definitely planned. Because the reason why I say it was definitely planned, because I actually, like, in my line of work as a trainer, like I've actually had some conversations with people that were in, it was two industries. It was like a healthcare industry and then like a travel industry. And the higher ups in both of these places were pretty much giving their workers like warnings that something was about to happen before this COVID actually happened. Like one particular person that I worked with, she was telling me that her job was telling them that they need to get used to working with masks. And this was before COVID had hit. So they was doing, it was like a little training that they did for like 2 weeks, learning how to kind of operate and work while having a mask on. Mind you, once again, this was before the pandemic started. So that's why I say it was planned. Like people knew what was about to go down. The majority, the way that they gonna react, the same way they react to everything else, is predictable. It's like we may be outraged for like a week or so, then we just pretty much gonna accept it. The majority, they gonna they gonna pretty much accept it. Gonna be outraged, like, oh my goodness, this is crazy, this is crazy. And then they gonna hit them up with whatever it is that's part of the plan, because they already got this mapped out. So they like, all right, we gonna make all these robots out here, it's gonna take their jobs, and then we're gonna hit them with this universal income or whatever the case may be, whatever they gonna call it. And they gonna hit us with that, and then we're gonna be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And we're gonna accept it. There's gonna be a few of us that's gonna be like, nah, man, I ain't going out like that. And those of us that are like that, those are the ones that they gonna go after. Yeah, it's definitely a government created pandemic. I will 100% attest to that. And what people don't understand is when we say government created pandemic, a lot of people think that we are saying that it's something that's fake. We're not saying that it's fake. We're saying the creation of it is via your government. It's very much real, but it ain't something that just popped out of nowhere. It's even like HIV, the HIV virus. I don't know if any of y'all have done any type of research in regards to that virus, man. But the way that went down, man, that was definitely manufactured in the lab, and that because I think it's a chimp that possesses like the cousin virus of HIV. So they obviously had to take that blood from that chimp and they had to inject it in humans. Of course, we already know where they went in regards to HIV. They went to Africa. But it almost should be a known fact now that HIV was man-made in a lab. I forgot the actual guy's name, man. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. This was back in the day when I was on it. Let me see if I can find it, man. Because one thing I've also noticed too, man, they started deleting a lot of content from like YouTube and like the internet, man. A lot of little videos and stuff that I used to watch back in the day that was exposing a lot. Boy, you can't find them now. So I'm trying to see if I can find his name so y'all can look it up and do y'all own research on it. I think it was like Robert Gallo. But y'all definitely need to do the knowledge to that HIV virus and see how that was created. It's crazy. It's a crazy little story. Yeah, if you don't get the vaccine, you pretty much gonna be banned from like from living. You ain't gonna be able to go anywhere. Yeah, it's some part, man. I think it's like, man, I can't remember. It's somewhere it's in another country where they've been wearing masks. Yeah, they taking off, man. I was on Amazon, man. I was trying to look for certain type of books, man. I couldn't even find them anymore. Like stuff that 10 years ago, man, I was seeing it and it was all resurfacing back in my mind. I couldn't find a lot of them, man. They have gotten rid of a lot of information. They have gotten rid of it. Like YouTube has gotten rid of a lot of powerful videos that 10 years ago was waking a lot of people up. You cannot find those videos anymore on YouTube. I wouldn't be surprised this video get deleted or something. I semi feel like the Constitution is out the window already, but yeah, China been wearing masks for that reason. Yeah, he was in on that, the HIV and AIDS vaccine, most definitely. I remember that. I'm 100% not getting the vaccine. That's just not gonna happen. They gonna have to prove they would have to prove to me, they would have to do some type of studies to show that it's more beneficial to get this vaccine opposed to me opting to take care of my own health. They had to prove that to me because I done been protecting my health, man. I done been taking my elderberry. I done been doing all that type of good stuff, sea moss smoothies, fasting, and all that. And I know I done been around people with the virus, man. I know it, and I haven't come down with anything. And it's just like a book that I got says, man. It's like 100 people can be exposed to the flu virus, but not all 100 will get it. So it's a certain type of person that's gonna contract that virus. Like you gotta, if you take care of yourself, man, that virus not gonna have anywhere to thrive. It won't be able to wreak its havoc. Yeah, they try to kill us every day, try to silence us and all that. Yeah, black seed oil is definitely good, but that elderberry syrup is crucial. Eat you some mushrooms are also crucial too in regards to building up the immune system. Mushrooms and then berries, those are like crucial with the elderberry, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, all that, and mushrooms. You good to roll. That's a good question. Wonder if he knew something. Who knows? Probably did because he had started getting a little political too. If they don't really care about us and all that. Since he OG at that point, man, it's just time to go out with a bang, man. I'm not getting that vaccine. At that point, it's just gonna be time for us to it's gonna be time for the Civil War to go ahead and start because I'm not doing it. We just gonna be a part of history then because I ain't going out like that. Like I'm not going out like that at all. Hence one of the reasons why I'm striving to do my own thing again because I'm not about to have a job tell me, all right, you can't work if you don't get the COVID vaccine. Like, nah, I'm good. Me being in a little more control of my own situation, like I wouldn't have to do that. Take the kids out the school system, start homeschooling them, forget all that. Like I'm not, we just at that point, because if they do that, if they really try to push it on us like that, then we gonna know that this whole time, this whole thing was pretty much not a lie, but like we gonna really see the real agenda behind it. So we gonna really see the truth behind what's really going on right now if they really try to make us get the vaccine. Because I mean, they like, it just ain't gonna go down like that. At some point, we gonna have to stand up to the system and be like, nah, I ain't doing that. So that's gonna be the way I approach the situation, man. I'm back in that mode where like I'm not about to just be passive, man. So I'm not gonna sit back and be like, all right, that's cool. Little vaccine ain't gonna hurt me. I feel like what I'm doing is working, so I don't need that. And they would have to provide me with evidence that I need it. Like, yeah, the vaccines don't make sense at all. Yeah, I don't know of any risk of consuming the elderberry. Yeah, the pandemic then reached new levels. It seemed like everywhere. It honestly seemed like we're approaching another worldwide shutdown again. Yeah, believe none of what you see, half of what you hear. That's how I go. Yeah, so this once again, it's been a pretty good dialogue, man. So finna get on up out of here, man. I got some research that I need to tend to, some knowledge that I need to do. Y'all already know how I get down, man. I got some routines I got to construct for some clients and all that. So I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. Y'all have a peaceful rest of the day. Protect yourselves out here, man. Y'all stay cool out here. Peace.